Hello everybody. Hi guys, it's Zainab and I am back again with some thoughts, some wisdom, some experiences. You know how I do. But anyway, this is a video I've been wanting to make, but I've been so busy. I just haven't had time, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to make time today. So I'm trying to film 2 videos. I'm having a hot flash. I just turned the air down, but it just don't seem to be doing nothing. But anyway, we're going to get through the hot flash and we're going to keep it pushing. So anyway, I'm going to borrow this from my guy, Justin J, the King of Reads. If you don't know who he is, he's quite entertaining. I like Justin. I've been following him for a lot of years, and what I like about him is he always speaks his mind, and he doesn't just speak his mind. Oh, I forgot about my microphone. He don't just speak his mind, you know, just being ignorant or whatever. Now, he used to read people all the time. What is it? He used to do a black V-neck read or whatever. But anyway, not saying he don't read people now, but he really, I like him because he has his own mind, and if he feels a way about something, y'all just gonna have to excuse the fanning, but I'm just like burning up. If he feels a way about something, he's gonna tell you why. Or, you know, I like people who express their opinions and it may give you something to think about. So, you know, something that you may not have, trying to get in the middle, something that you may not have thought about before. So anyway, he does this thing when he does his videos, he does a mental health check-in. And so I'm going to check in with you guys. How is your mental health? How are you dealing with everything that's going on here in the world? I know for me, and that's part of another reason why I really haven't been filming. Not like I was that consistent. I'm not going to sit up here and tell no lies. But I'm like, everything has just been such a drag. Because I did make a video about trauma and secondhand trauma and things that experiences that we're traumatized by and we don't even know it. But I was so tired. I'm gonna have to redo that video because I do want to discuss that as well. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, my mental health is okay. And I mean, I really have had to take a step back from media, from the news, from social media, because I don't want to be inundated with these images and all of this heavy stuff all the time. It's not something that I'm unaware of. It's not, you know, it's not that I'm turning a blind eye or I'm being like unrealistic that it's not going on. I know that it's going on. Been known it's going on. You know, been known it's happening. So it's not something new, but I don't want to just constantly have that on my mind because I need to be at peace. And I'm going to be at peace no matter what. So I'm not scrolling social. And let me complete my sentences because I have a very bad habit of talking so fast. My thoughts run so fast. I speak very fast, and then I never complete a thought or a sentence. And that's something that I have committed to working on. So yeah, it's not that I'm a person that is always on social media or always scrolling social media because a lot of times I will delete my social media apps because I don't like to waste a lot of time scrolling, you know, because I've in the past found myself where I was just scrolling, and then hours have gone by and I'm like, I could have been doing something else. But I have recently, not too long ago, got back on social media, back on Instagram, not really so much on Facebook. And it was just like, honey, this is a drag. I'm so tired of seeing these images and all of this, you know, I need a break. So, hey, I hope that you guys are doing well mentally and doing what you need to do to keep your peace and keep your mental health where it needs to be, in a positive and in a healthy place. Your mind and your emotions and your spirit and your body, all that. But what was on my mind today was I had to make sure I was recording because I've done that too, thinking I'm recording and then I'm not. Was a couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity to hang out with some people that I love and like and that love and like me. And on my way back home, I mean, I just felt so good. I was like, oh my gosh, I really feel so good. It really felt good to get together with these people. It felt good to, just be myself. I didn't feel constrained. I didn't feel like I was being judged. And I hope that my microphone is not messing up because I'm steady fanning. We'll see. Hopefully I want to refilm this, but let me try not to fan, but I don't feel judged. So I was just thinking like, wow, when I'm with this group of people, I don't feel judged. I'm absolutely able to be completely who I am without anybody criticizing me, taking jabs at me, low-key hating on me, competing with me. And I was like, that just really feels good. And so it just made me think, and this is not a new concept or thought process for me, but anyway, this just brought it back to go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. Honey, you ain't got to tolerate me. And I'm really bringing this up because I used to be that person that I would allow people to tolerate me. And what do I mean by tolerate me? I'm giving and giving and giving in a relationship, and I'm not talking about romantic relationships, I'm just talking about relationships in general, friendships, familyships, co-workerships, acquaintanceships, and romantic relationships, whatever kind of relationship it is. You don't ever want to be the person that's giving, and then you're never getting anything in return. It's not tit for tat, but you don't want to be a dumping ground for people, because people, you'll think, how do I say this? It's almost like you have a person in a place that they really don't deserve to occupy. You might have somebody as BFF status, and that's because you're always the one that they call when they need something. You're always the one that they call when they need to talk and dump all their problems and stuff on you. You're the one that they call, honey, when something is going on, and you really love this person. You love the person, and when you love a person, you want the best for them. And so as a friend, you're like, yeah, I want the best for this person. I think about them on their birthday. I think about them on this day, on that day. But then if you look back and start to notice, you don't see the person doing the same things for you. And like I said, it's not tit for tat, but actions speak louder than words. I don't care how many people, I love you, sis, this, whatever, bro, bruh, all this kind of stuff. And their actions are not translating to what their words, their actions are not lining up with their words. And I found myself in the past in that situation. And when I got healed and I worked on my emotions and I began to study, and I'm not like study like I was taking a course, but just began to seek out, what do healthy relationships look like? What does that look like? What should that look like? How do I feel when I'm around these people? How do I feel when I leave these people's presence? And am I tolerating treatment that I don't deserve? Am I giving people my time and the whole essence of me, and they don't even deserve it because I'm being loyal to someone who does not even deserve my loyalty? And so I had to learn how to be loyal to myself and to love myself. And what that looks like is I observe your behavior. And if your behavior does not make me feel good about myself, if I'm starting to notice certain things, if I brought things to your attention and you continue with that same behavior, then like I said before, honey, let me reevaluate this relationship and place you in another category, because I've clearly allowed you to take up space and to hold a title that you don't deserve. And so many of us, and I think some of it is by conditioning, there are so many things that we are, what is the word? Not trained, but because a lot of it is subconscious, but there are so many that we're conditioned, so many things that we're conditioned to accept, ways, things that we're just conditioned to accept that are not normal, that are dysfunctional, and yet we remain in them. And sometimes it's out of ignorance, because we really just don't understand that just because you've known somebody a long time doesn't mean that you're close friends. It's like you need to evaluate the relationship. You need to evaluate the person's behavior. When you're around people, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. All this low-key hating and low-key competition. I mean, it could be low-key, high-key, whatever, but it's there. So I can remember there was this person that I used to hang out with, and she would be like, she always want to hang out with me. But every time we would hang out, she would come with these little sideways, they weren't even sideways, just insults. Perfect example, we went out for, what was it? New Year's Eve one year. I was like, girl, do you want to go here? They having a party, blah, 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 blah. So we go, we're having a good time. And I'm the kind of person, always have been, and I'm sure always will be. When I go out, I'm going out to have a good time, honey. I'm not going out to meet men. I'm not going out to do this. I'm not going out to do that. I'm going out to have me a good time. So, sweetheart, I was having me a good time. So she had noticed this guy. Okay, the guy was fine, but I mean, hey, I don't have no problem appreciating the handiwork of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank God for fine men. But yeah, so anyway, she saw this guy and she was like, oh, he is fine. And, you know, I mean, I looked over there and I was like, oh, you know, hey, he's nice looking, whatever. I was having a good time. I'm going about my business. I observed, I appreciated, and I've gone on. So after midnight came, they dropped the balloons, everything, we celebrated. So I'm like, you know, it's time to get ready to go home. And the guy was standing on the wall. And so, you know, I was like, oh, well, let's go. I had to go to the restroom. We went to the restroom, you know, before we got ready to leave. So we had to pass by the guy. And I wasn't thinking about the guy, okay? I wasn't thinking about the guy. And so it was either when we went in or when we went out or came back out, we had to pass by the guy. And so when I got ready to pass by the guy, he started singing Happy New Year and dancing with me. And hey, I'm here to have a good time. I can celebrate. It's the New Year's. We entered into a new year. Child, we've been having our libations, eating good food, listening to good music, dancing, all that. So, of course, I'm like, yeah, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. So anyway, and that was the end of it. That was the extent of it. I didn't exchange numbers with the guy. I did not ask him his name. He didn't ask me my name. I went on about my business because that's just how I am. So anyway, we get back to the bar. We get ready to leave, or either we was driving back because I think I had parked at her house. And here okay, I done told the story. Let me get to the insult. So then she gonna say, I guess some men like big women. But this was the killing part. First of all, yes, I'm plus size and beautiful. Hadn't always been, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not insecure about anything about me. But don't say it in a way like it's negative, especially when you're only 1 or 2 sizes away from me. Sweetheart, you're considered plus size as well. And this is my thing. I'm not in competition with people. I don't compete with people. That's just not my thing. I try to focus on what I'm doing and what I want to do. I'm not in competition with you, especially if you're supposed to quote unquote be my friend. Why am I trying to compete with you? That's not normal. That's abnormal. That's dysfunctional. And so I was like, because she was like, well, I'm the one that said the guy was attractive. And then to me, I'm not trying to be funny, but in my mind, when people say stuff like that, I want to say, honey, are you slow? Just because you think somebody is attractive doesn't mean that they're going to find you attractive. Just because you think somebody is attractive doesn't mean that they want to pursue a relationship with you. Honey, the man could have been married. We don't know. We didn't talk long enough to find anything out about him. Okay, he was attractive, and obviously he found me attractive. I am attractive, so there's no surprise there. But to try to come low-key hating on me, and this person will always do stuff like that. So it got to the point I was like, you know what? I don't have to get mad, sweetheart. Guess what? You're out. You're out of the circle. Not really. It was just like, okay, I don't want to hang with this person because obviously they feel some kind of way about me, or they are some kind of way in competition with me. And you know what? I don't have time for that. And I'm not finna give my energy to people who are constantly competing with me. You know, we meet up after work and I come in, and most people on Fridays, they dress down. So in our office, we could dress down, but we couldn't wear tennis shoes. So this one day we met up for dinner. We were not anywhere fancy. We were at Longhorn. And so I had on jeans, a sweater, that I still had a sweater today, just a regular old sweater, and I had on some pointy toe flats because, like I said, we could not wear tennis shoes at my job. And baby, I got them from Payless, but it don't matter where I got them from. So then when I came in, she looked at me all up and down talking about, oh, I mean, I just have on this and I just have on that. I didn't know you was going. I'm like, I'm not dressed up. What are you talking about? And anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't care if I came in there in a ball gown. If that's what I choose to wear or how I choose to dress, that's my business. And you dress in the way that makes you feel comfortable. Why are you trying to compete and compare with me? You know, and then you have to have the nerve to try to have something to say about it. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I'm me. I'm going to wear what I want to wear and do how I want to do. It's just what it is. Now, I think this was probably the straw that broke the camel's back with me. So I got a new job, and my coworkers were taking me out to celebrate. And I have this male coworker, and me and him used to always hang. Sometimes we hang after work and, or at work or whatever. But anyway, we were real cool. It wasn't nothing, we were cool. Honey, so he came, and I don't know what all was in her mind, because, when people try to take these little jabs or get a little knife and try to stab you, they never give you their full thought process. So when she came, and then she saw him, and she was like, we'll just say his name was Bubba. And she was like, oh, Bubba is attractive. Girl, what does that have to do with anything? So what you trying to say? Because Bubba is attractive, he and I shouldn't be friends? Because Bubba is attractive, then what are you trying to say? So, I just got to the point where I was like, ma'am, I'm not going to be able. And always do it, because it's like, you don't deserve my time. You do not deserve my time. You do not honor me, and you are not a person that celebrates me. I never was like, oh, this about you, this about you, because I'm like, anybody can say anything about somebody. We all have flaws. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has their own preferences and things that they think are attractive and things that they think are not attractive. But that's just not my thing. I'm just like, I'm not on that. And so it's just like, okay, if you're always constantly trying to insult me, why do you want to hang out with me? And to me, I felt like the only reason you want to hang out with me is because you want to see what I'm doing. You don't want to hang out with me because you genuinely like me, you genuinely love me, you genuinely want to see the best for me, you enjoy my company, you think I have a great personality. Like them African people say, no ma'am. So, you know what? I stopped hanging with her. I didn't cuss her out. I didn't, go on social media and say, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. No, I just was like, I declined any invitation. I'm not. If you cannot celebrate me, if you cannot love me, if you cannot like me for who I am, you know what? I don't need to grace you with my presence. You're not worthy. So, I mean, so many other stories I could tell. That was just one, because she ain't the only person that's tried to constantly take jabs at me. And I just had to be like, you know what? I can't be around these people, because it's not that it's hurting me, but it's just like, why would I keep subjecting myself to this negativity when I don't have to? It's like, I don't owe anybody my time. I don't owe anybody my presence. I don't owe anything to anybody. I don't owe you to hang out with you, to attend your events, to accept your invitations. And I think that's something that some people need to realize. And if you're that kind of person, you need to start doing your internal work. You need to start going to a therapist, honey, doing something, start watching some YouTube videos of some people so you can figure out what's going on with you. Take some time to journal, sit down and think about your behaviors, and not even so much the behavior, because there's something that's fueling that behavior. Because you being a hater, intimidated, and always in competition with people who you claim are your friends, what's going on with you? What's going on with your confidence? What's going on with your self-esteem that you cannot just be who you are, be confident in who you are, and understand that who you are and giving another person a compliment or appreciating who somebody else was, take who somebody is, does not take anything from you. And so, you know, it's for both sides. It's for the person who has a negative behavior and for the person who's receiving the negative behavior. And if you end up, you know, hey, being able to be friends or hang with that person, cool. And you know what? You can do whatever you want to do. But what I'm going to do, what I do is, I'm sorry, if you can't celebrate me, I can't hang with you. Because what is the point of taking your time and going out and being social and hanging with people when you get there, they start taking their little jabs at you, and now you ready to go. So if I already know that you're gonna act like that, I'm just not coming. But I do appreciate the people in my life that let me be me, with all my quirks, with all my flaws, with all my whatever, with my loud squealing laugh, with my funny, crazy sense of humor, whoever, all of who I am, and not trying to pick me apart or try to put me in a box, you know. I certainly appreciate that. And, you know, I want to always try to be aware to be the person to accept people for who they are. And if I don't feel like I want to be in a relationship with somebody, whatever kind of relationship it is, let me leave that person alone. I don't want to come with negative energy and behavior and words. Just leave them alone. Everybody is not for everybody. Everybody is not meant to be in a close relationship with other people. And that's life, and that is okay. So anyway, I feel like I've talked enough, even though I could go on and on and on. I'm just pray and hope, and it's my desire that if you are that person and you may find yourself in those type of situations or those type of relationships where you don't feel good when you are in these people's presence, you don't feel good when you leave their presence, and you always like, okay, was they throwing shade at me? Start reevaluating some of those relationships and give your time to those people who are going to appreciate you and honor you and celebrate you. So hey, go where you are celebrated and not tolerated. Go where you are celebrated and not tolerated. And until next time, take care. Bye.